Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Hyder got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20. Breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40 midfield. 40, 30 to the coast. 20, 15. Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page, go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, guys, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it. And that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Come on, man. What is wrong with you? What's your problem is? You got to keep up with the Joneses and them. So go to wherever you get your apps from. It doesn't matter where you get your apps from, whether it's iTunes or Google Play or Amazon or Walmart or Kmart or 7-Eleven or Zayre. Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Woolworths, Weebolts, Gold Blast. It doesn't matter. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. You take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles thanks to my man Clarence, Council the Third. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles, Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your television. Okay, put us there next to the big boys. Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Apple Plus, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Stars. Woo, Stars was good. I don't know. Was that the last one last week, or do we have one more week? I don't know. Man, Raising Canaan is getting good. But you know what? I digress. Download us to your television and watch us on the big screen. Hell, run the big screen, right, Vicky, now. You can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online. Want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Yeah, we got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here on the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's check the chat, because the chat is jumping already. Levette Lee. Checking in early, say happy hump day, y'all. Dude, stop it. Stop it. He goes, go. Why are you starting? Stop it. My man Armando Emeterio, Lara Jr., he's in the house. He's continuing the shenanigans that Levette started. Great. Just what we need. Great. Steve-O. Damn you, Steve-O. Damn you, Steve-O. Marshawn Walls in the house. Is a happy hump day. What up? And a Sox win. That was beautiful. That was a nice win yesterday, Marshawn. Nice win. I thought of you. Today's workout sucked. Burpees every minute. We had thrusters. We had hand clean dumbbell thrusters. We had basically hand clean and jerk, but instead of just jerking, we have to squat. And then on the way up, we extend. Is the jerk part. We had 100 of those. And you think, okay, not too bad. But at the top, we had 20. It was a 25-minute cap. It means we had 25 minutes to do it. But at the top of every minute, we had to stop and do 5 burpees. We had to stop and do 5 freaking burpees. I got it done in 19 minutes and 57 seconds out of the 25-minute cap. So it was 19 burpees, 19 times. Well, I started doing 3 burpees. I did about 60 burpees, 50 burpees. Crazy. If you saw my post, my video after, man, I was sweating like a sweater, boy. Woo-wee. Man. Mr. Shode is in the house. What's up? Top of the morning to you. Yes, sir, Bob. Appreciate you. It's a shorty. What my problem is? What you problem is? Oh man, yes, Marshawn, yes. And no, we're not co-signing on Steve-O shenanigans for that little song. We're not co-signing on that, shorty. No. I would need to drink 8 morning beers to do that many burpees, dude. It was crazy. It was nuts. Oh, whew. Man, oh man, was that insane? But you know what? We got it done. A great way to start the morning. Tell you what, I feel good. It's gonna be a wonderful day. Wonderful day. Well, listen. We got a great show for you at 9:30 at the bottom of the hour. We have Gavriel Wilkins. He's with the New 24 podcast. We're going to talk Bulls basketball with him. We're going to talk about, because I got some problems with you people, and you're going to hear about them. NBA lottery is a freaking joke. So I hate when we got people coming in. Guys on the radio the other day trying to poo-poo it. Oh no, I was there. I see the process. I do this. I do that. I saw it's not rigged. It's rigged. It's freaking rigged. Stop the nonsense. Stop the bullshit. We know it. Okay? Stop the bullshit. We know it. So we're going to have Gavriel Wilkins, and we're going to talk about that. But I'm going to go on my little rant, get off my lawn. Because it's ridiculous. NBA is rigged. The lottery's rigged. Why don't they do it in public anymore? Remember they used to do it, they used to have everybody there. They had the representatives from the teams, and they had the big barrel they'd spin, blah, 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 and they pick out the squares with the team's name on it. Why isn't that done in public anymore? And it's the lottery is taken care of sponsored by the law firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Yes, you do. Don't sit there and give me that bullshit. 08. The Bulls had a 1.7% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. And what happens? We get the number 1 overall pick. Why? Because Derrick Rose was the consensus number 1 player. He was the consensus number 1 pick. A Chicago kid playing for the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls had been down for a while. They had been an embarrassment to the NBA, and they needed a jolt. They realized Chicago would stand behind its very own, which they do. We stand behind our players, but God forbid our players from Chicago, man. And he was the best coming out of college that year. You know it. It's all about money. The nonsense. We got Derrick Rose. There's still Derrick Rose jerseys in the stands today. And he hasn't played for us in like 6-8 years. Okay, then in New Orleans, when Anthony Davis left, they get the number 1 overall pick. Interesting. You lost a superstar, you get a superstar. They got Zion Williamson. Let's not forget the Cleveland Cavaliers when LeBron left. The second time, when LeBron left, they got the number 1 overall pick. And now that Dallas had that crazy trade with Luka, inexplicable. They lost their superstar. Mark Cuban's one of the longest tenured owners. He's like, I want a replacement. NBA is like, all right, cool. So they get the number 1 pick. You're not going to sit there. Don't look me in the eye, piss on my shoes, and tell me it's raining. All right? Clear as day. So the Dallas Wings and the Dallas Mavericks, they both got the number 1 overall pick, the WNBA and the NBA. They got Paige Beckers, the Wings. And now you're going to get Cooper Flagg from Duke. Come on. Don't bullshit us. I might have been born at night, but I wasn't born last night. And don't sit there and co-sign on that BS. Oh, it's not rigged. It's I saw the process. It's not. It really isn't. It is. You got to keep your big markets happy. It's all about money. Steve-O, cue up. I don't even know if we have it. You got to cue up Wu-Tang. Cash rules everything around me. You got to add that to the music background because that's what this is all about. It's all about money. Dallas has a good fan base. They get Cooper Flagg. Now Dallas is back in the mix a little bit. No, because they need a point guard. I don't need Kyrie. I don't know how long Kyrie's going to stay there. But you got young, talented players in Dallas. Paige Beckers with the Wings. Cooper Flagg, who everyone expects to be taken number 1 overall by the Mavericks. So don't give me that nonsense that, oh, they were lucky. Oh, and then the Bulls lost. Isn't it weird? The Bulls lost a coin toss at the end of the season to the Dallas Mavericks. Otherwise, the Bulls would have exactly what the Mavericks have, and the Bulls would have had the number 1 overall pick. But the Bulls, I'm telling you, I think they show they got some fight. This Matas Buzelis kid is the truth. And they're like, okay, well, we can't give you Matas and Cooper Flagg. So the Bulls lose a coin toss to the Dallas Mavericks, and the Dallas Mavericks with a 1.7% chance of the number 1 overall pick get the number 1 overall pick. Just like the Bulls had a 1.7% chance of getting the Derrick Rose, they got Derrick Rose. You got to remember, this is a business. This is a business. This is entertainment. At least WWE, they call sports entertainment. But the NFL, the MLB, NBA, it's sports, it's entertainment. Rick Gonzalez checking in. What's up, Papa? Good morning, Shawn. It's the best chat going. Bear the F down. FGB. 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 I'm tired, man, of everyone coming on and trying to tell you that it was not rigged. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. I could be wrong, but I'm probably not. That nonsense, that bull. But you know what? We gotta get it cracking, because at the bottom of the hour, Gavriel Wilkins from the new 24 podcast is going to talk. We're talking Bulls and some more of this bullshit. It's not rigged. It's not rigged. Get out of here. Come on with that nonsense. So you guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Yes, the first top of the morning topic. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? You know where we're going. The good guys from the South Side. That's what I'm talking about, baby. South Side, stand up. The Pope from the South Side. They won their first game after the series when they after the Pope got elected. Now they're whooping some ass some more. The White Sox. Well, they didn't bear the Reds. They beat them. So that's when you have sausage fingers. The White Sox beat the Cincinnati Reds in Cincinnati 5-1. Jonathan Cannon didn't get the start, but they had an opener. He came in the second inning. The opener was literally the first three batters, and then Cannon. But the first three batters were retired, so Cannon started the second inning, but he got the no decision. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, no walks, 6 punch-outs. Man, the young catcher, Guerrero, 3 for 3. With an RBI, man, I screwed that up big time. What the hell? What the hell is that all about? That's crazy. Anyway, Miguel Vargas, 3 for 4 with a double, his 9th. He also had a homer, his 3rd of the season. He had 3 of them, not 3, 3. 1, 2, 3 ribbies on a day. His 13th, 14th, and 15th ribbies of the season. And Chase Maedroth drove in his 3rd RBI of the year. Man, let me tell you something. Vargas connected. The White Sox had their chances. They were up 1-0. Guerrero with the RBI to put us up 1-0. And they had plenty of opportunity to extend that lead. In the 7th, runners on 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Could not push another run across. A strikeout, then a double play. Man, that was terrible. Then Ellie De La Cruz, bottom of the 9th. We get to the bottom of the 9th, 1-0. 1 out. Ellie De La Cruz works the count full and then unloads to deep right field to tie the game. Wow, that was crazy. But then we put a big crooked number up on that board in the 10th. And, man, it opened up, and that's when Miguel Vargas went to work with a 3-run shot after the Sox were up 2-1 already in their top of the 10th. And he had that 3-run bomb to make the score 5-1. I love it. I love it today. All right, Chihuahua. You know, oh, you're killing me, Smalls. There you go. I could have sworn that I had. Yep. Crazy. Hold on. Next up, the morning topic. Staying with the White Sox, we got to find out who they're playing today. And I'll tell you who they're playing today. The White Sox are in Cincinnati again tonight. First pitch is at 6:14 p.m. Central Time. You can catch that game on Chicago Sportsnet or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. The probables for today's game. For the good guys on the South Side, Davis Martin is on a bump. He's 1-4 with a 4.01 ERA going up against Nick the Dolo. For the Reds, he's 3-3 with a 3.23 ERA. Next out of the morning topic. All righty. The Cubs. Pardon me. The Cubs with a big comeback win yesterday over the Fish. Over the Miami Marlins, 5-4. Ben Brown started the game, no decision. He went 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 hits. PCA. He is on a tear, baby. He was 2 for 3 with a homer. His 11th of the season, driving in his 29th and 30th runs of the season. Nico Horner, 1 for 3 with driving in his 17th RBI. Justin Turner, who I'm in a group thread with Junior and his son, and they're like, I hate Justin Turner. I hate Justin Turner. DFA him. He gets the game-winning double, a walk-off double, and they're like, we love Justin Turner. We love Justin Turner. He was 1 for 1 with a double, his first of the season, driving in his 8th and 9th of the season. And, man, I'll tell you what, Wrigley was rocking. Wrigley was rocking, baby. I had about 8 people, maybe even 10 people, different friends, different people at the game yesterday, because yesterday was Mexican Heritage Night. So they were giving out jerseys, which was pretty cool. I saw a whole, like I said, about 8 to 10 different people on my timeline who were at the game yesterday. Andy, Ortega, Sochi and her husband. Sochi's not a Sox fan. She's like, I'm simply here for the beers. Her husband's a big Cub fan. Eve Ortiz was there. Claudia was there. Man, well, my guy Hirsch had a big outing yesterday. They're partying over at Output Wrigleyville. Crazy. And what a way for the Cubs to end the night. But keeping it up, the next time the morning top of the Cubs host the Marlins today, going for the sweep. And this is what the Cubs needed. The Cubs got dealt the shit hand. They ran through the gauntlet, the NL West, like 4 times. They're here, they're home. The Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants. How many times are you going to play them in the first month? Now you got to schedule, you got to stretch, an easy stretch. You got the Marlins, the Sox, and the Marlins. The Cubs are doing what they're supposed to do. They're going for the sweep today. They host the Marlins today at Wrigley Field. First pitch is at 6:40 p.m. Central Time. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. The probables for that game for the Miami Marlins, Ryan Weathers, he's 0-0 with a 0.00 ERA, going up against Jameson Taillon for the Cubs. He's 2-2 with a 4.53 ERA. So you go that, you get the sweep. You're doing good. You get the day off, and then you get the Southsiders coming north to whoop that trick. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. But keeping it moving, the next top of the morning topic, the Bulls. You heard me talk about it when I first started the show. The Bulls are picking 12th in the lottery. After the lottery, I should say they're 12th. Should have been first, but whatever. I don't even think there are any good players that deep. But here's where your scouting comes in. Here's where AK going to earn the big bucks. The next top of the morning topic is one we are all excited about, Cub fans and Sox fans. The GOAT is back, baby. MJ. Oh, boy, Mike is back. Michael Jordan will join NBC's NBA coverage in the fall. He'll be as a special contributor. Anything involving MJ in the NBA is great. So he's going to be back with NBC in the fall. I love it. I want him to be, here's the thing. I want him to be 100% real. I want him to keep it a buck. Don't sugarcoat the nonsense. And I find it difficult for Mike to be someone who sugarcoats shit. I do. I just hope that he keeps it a buck and not mean, but keeps it a buck. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. The GOAT is back, baby. The GOAT is back. I was talking to somebody yesterday, like how could LeBron, like LeBron fans, like, I get LeBron's a great player. There's no disrespect toward LeBron at all. But how do you not watch the things that Michael's done? And see, the problem is you weren't around. That's the issue. The problem is you weren't around, or you're a little kid shitting in your diapers. All right? Whenever you hear people talk about Michael, it was fear. It wasn't respect. It was fear. What happened at the 75th anniversary? 74 guys were all there sitting there bullshit in the background, and all of a sudden the mic came out. Man, it just changed. It just changed. But I digress. I'm just happy Michael's going to be back doing some NBA stuff. I love it. I can't wait to hear him. You know, I hope he's not bad like Tom Brady, because Tom Brady's bad. Tom Brady's bad. He's too robotic, and that's the problem. Tom got to be keeping a buck, Tom. Just be real. But I digress. Anyway, we got one more top of the morning topic. Man, I don't know about you guys, but I am so happy. This is, woo, Charlie. Here. Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, and the other 7 men from 8 men out for the Chicago Black Sox were removed from the permanently ineligible list by baseball commissioner Rob Manfred. Long overdue for Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe, and the other 7 men. Remember, they made a movie 8 Men Out because the 8 men who were involved in that. The crazy part is they are Hall of Fame eligible. They are Hall of Fame eligible in 2028. How crazy is that? Pete Rose, he's the all-time hits leader. He's the hit king. Needs to be in that Hall of Fame. Shoeless Joe Jackson in that World Series. If you look at his stats, you'd never tell he was trying to throw because he was on one. But happy. A little annoyed they waited until Pete died. But better late than never, I guess. Well, listen, we got to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome Gavriel Wilkins from the New 24 podcast. Does that start Kiefer Sutherland? Is he on a podcast too? Anyway, we're going to talk a little Bulls basketball and that sham of a lottery that they just had. So don't go anywhere, folks. Gavriel Wilkins on the other side of the break. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters. We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Certainly want to move Vargas, and that's perfect.
Right on cue. And Vargas, he'll be waved in. The throw to the plate is late. Edgar Caro comes through as the White Sox strike first. A 1-0 lead here in this fourth inning. Here's a payoff. He takes off for third. The throw to the bag. Got him! Edgar Caro. Let him know. Robert, another shimmy shake. He's faking the move, and now he goes to second. The throw down is offline, and Robert Jr. with his 16th stolen base of the season. Here, drives in a run here as Vargas high in the air, deep to left field. Get out! Miguel Vargas with a 3-run shot here in the 10th. And the Sox explode for a 4 spot here in extra inning.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Chicago Sports Net. Those are the good guys from the South Side with a big 3-run shot in the top of the 10th to extend the lead to 5-1. Big Miguel Vargas with that bomb. Woo, Charlie. Cup fans, I know you had a walk-off, but so what? No one cares. No one cares. Anyway, my guest today, he's been out here before. You should remember him. He is a Bulls basketball analyst and host of the new 24 podcast. All right, you can also find him on Twitter at WhatGave, G-A-V-E. What Gave said. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Gavriel Wilkins. What's up, Papa? How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. What's going on, Shawn? Pleasure to be here. Always a blessing to be able to talk some hoops with you.
Man, thanks for coming on. I do appreciate it. Talk to me about this lottery first and foremost. I think it was a sham. I think it was bullshit. I just think they lost Luka. Like, okay, we'll give you another superstar down in Dallas since you lost a stud to the Lakers. Give me your thoughts on this whole lottery thing.
Well, this ain't the first time that's happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We saw this with the New Orleans Hornets at the time when Chris Paul got traded to the LA Clippers prior to the 2011-12 season. Anthony Davis goes to the University of Kentucky, wins the national championship. They were awarded with the number 1 overall pick. We also see the same thing repeat itself 7 years later when AD wants out of New Orleans and he gets traded to the Lakers, and then the Pelicans at the time, and now the Pelicans, they end up getting the number 1 overall pick and they select Zion Williamson. So this has been a common theme. We also saw with LeBron when he decided to leave Cleveland the first time to go to Miami in free agency 2010. They get awarded with the number 1 overall pick at 2011, select Kyrie Irving number 1 overall. So it's a recurring thing. With D Rose too. But you know, and in a way, this was a similar situation when you got those 1.7, 1.8% odds and you end up getting that top pick. But hey, it's a great situation for Cooper Flagg because we know how many times a lot of guys are asked to save franchises and be the franchise hero. He's going into an ideal situation, going beside a top 75 great in Anthony Davis, alongside his Duke brethren, Kyrie Irving, once he returns from his torn ACL injury at the top of the new year in 2026. I really like this fit for him. He's going to be beside 2 former number 1 overall picks that can still be effective and produce on the floor and teach him what it's like to be a pro off the court. And one thing about Cooper Flagg, I think he's going to fit in like a glove because he's an ultimate team player, plays great defense, and is willing to do the little things to make a team well. I think that on paper, with the way that this roster is currently constructed, you put Cooper Flagg in a mix, you can have a top 5 defensive team in the NBA next season out in the Lone Star State.
Yeah, they're doing well over there down in Dallas. The Big D, they're doing it right. The Wings got the number 1 overall pick in Paige Buchers with the from UConn, and now Cooper Flagg, the number 1 overall pick, which we assume and everyone assumes he's going to take. They're going to have some talent down in Dallas, and it's going to be a fun time down there in Texas. And you know, I'm anxious to see how our Bulls do. Give me your thoughts on the Bulls. Who the hell going to pick at 12? Can they get Maluak from Duke? Is he going to last that long? Who else would you target if you're the Bulls at 12?
Kaman Maluak will be a perfect fit for the Bulls. We know that this is a team that has Nikola Vucevic on the books for $20+ million. He's entering the final year of his contract. You're going to have to seek to flip him. And at this stage of his career, he deserves to be on a contender, showing what he could do in a winning environment. But if Maluak is on the board, that would be the ideal guy. However, I think it's some other guys that you should keep your eyes on, Shawn, as well as the rest of Bulls fans, such as Igor Domin out of BYU. He's an oversized guard, about 6'8", with a 6'10" wingspan. And like the current lead ball handler and playmaker for the Bulls and Josh Giddey, he does his best work as a passer, high IQ decision maker, finished third in Big 12 in total assists, played a key role on a BYU squad that made a run into the Sweet 16, posted a near triple-double in the second round of the tournament against Wisconsin, posted 11, 8, and 8. Still got a long way to go on both sides of the ball, but I think they can use a guy like him because he's very versatile, fits into the ball movement scheme that Billy Donovan wants to operate in and have his teams playing offensively. And a guy that's used to playing in that system makes a ton of sense. Another guy I will have my eye on is Derek Queen out of Maryland. Also led his Terrapin squad to the Sweet 16 out of the Big 10, one of the best big men in the country. And even though he's not your traditional center, and he has a little bit of skills where he can stretch the floor and play the 4 spot for you, he has an excellent feel for the game, and he can put the ball on the deck. And he kind of reminds me a little bit of Boris Diaw. Now, I don't know if he's going to be a 5 to 10-time All-Star before a team that likes to play 5 out and run fast. He has the ability to be a secondary playmaker in a manner akin to Nikola Vucevic. And while we haven't seen a reliable jump shot from him, he has the ability to play on the perimeter with it, thanks to his ability to handle the basketball. And even though he's a curious prospect to study, I think for a Bulls team that's in need of a future building block at the 5, and you want to run a creative offense around Josh Giddey and have multiple ball handlers on the floor, having him beside Josh Giddey and Matas Buzelis could be a nice young trio that you seek to build your team around. And then we don't know what the Bulls are going to do with Kobe White, right? He's on the final year of his contract. And if they want to trade him, why not go after the son of Jason Richardson, who went to Michigan State by the name of Jace Richardson? And he only gained steam in his long season with the Spartans, one of the most dynamic scoring guards in all of college basketball, shot the ball efficiently well while averaging nearly 16 points per night over his last 15 games. And I don't know whether or not he's a point guard or a shooting guard, but he's a nice combo guard who can get to his own spots, navigate the screens well, pull up from 3. And they need as much high upside talent as they could get. And Richardson, he's a little bit raw as a scorer, but he has an intriguing enough profile to emerge as one of the top backcourt players in this draft class. And even though he's a little bit small, he plays real hard. And I think guys might seek to target him defensively, but if he can improve on that end of the floor, I think he'll be just fine. I like his profile. We know his dad used to get down not too long ago with the Golden State Warriors and Phoenix Suns, won back-to-back slam dunk contests, and had a hell of a career for over a decade in the NBA.
So you're okay with them going after the guard, even though we're guard heavy with Josh Giddey, who are probably going to give a huge contract to, with Io, with Kobe. So you're okay going to get another guard and add to that rotation?
I think you got to go for the best player available because they're going to make some moves. They're going to make some moves We don't know for sure whether or not Kobe White's going to be in town. We don't know for sure whether or not Ayo Dosunmu is going to be in town. They have 15 players currently under contract, and Arturas Karnisovas said in his end-of-the-year press conference following the Bulls' play-in loss to the Miami Heat when their season came to a close that, look, we're going to make some moves. So if they're going to make some moves and they're going to trade some pieces, preferably some guards where they have the most depth at, then they could seek to go in the direction of getting a guard. I would prefer for them to go after a wing or a center. However, if they went after a guard, I wouldn't be shocked. And another name to keep your eye on is Noah Nsingwe out of France, 6'9" forward, raw offensively, but is not afraid to shoot the basketball. Still a work in progress on that end, but a high-octane defender, can get to the rim and could be a secondary playmaker beside the likes of a Buzelis and Giddey in the fold.
Okay. And guys, we're joined by Gavriel Wilkins from the New 24 podcast, talking Bulls basketball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Yeah, so give me your thoughts, because I am intrigued a little bit. Give me your thoughts on the Greek Freak. There's chances, there's rumor that he may want out now of Milwaukee. He's won a title. He's won 2 MVPs. He got nothing left to do there. They really have no shot anymore of being a title contender up in Brewtown, but he's 30. Any chance the Bulls consider that, or is his age put the kibosh on them going after him?
I don't see the Bulls having enough assets to go after Giannis Antetokounmpo. If you're a team like the Milwaukee Bucks and you know you got to part ways with Giannis Antetokounmpo and that's what he wants and desires to pursue a championship elsewhere, then you need to be seeking to accumulate draft capital on top of getting some young talent in the building. And if I'm John Horst, the general manager of the Milwaukee Bucks, and I'm looking at this Bulls roster, outside of Modest Buzelis, I don't see too many players on this roster that I will feel confident in saying I can look at him as a building block toward the future. And I wouldn't expect for the Bulls to want to trade Modest Buzelis so soon. So if that's the case, I don't see them having a package at all that's worth Milwaukee's time. I think the team that could be a dark horse for Giannis Antetokounmpo would be the San Antonio Spurs. They have the number 2 and 14 overall picks in the 2025 NBA draft. This is the second year in a row that they've had 2 lottery picks. They also boast the last 2 Rookie of the Year award winners in Victor Wembanyama and the current reigning Rookie of the Year recipient is Stephon Castle, who came out of UConn and won a national championship with Dan Hurley a season ago. But one player that I would not mind the Bulls swinging for the fences on and taking a calculated gamble on is Zion Williamson. And I tell you why. I understand. I understand that the best ability is availability. But when this guy has been available, he's been one of the top players in the league. He also has a current contract where the final 3 years of his deal are non-guaranteed. So starting next season, over the last 3 years of his deal, if you want to, you could waive him or terminate his contract without incurring any financial penalties. And he's a guy that's worth it swinging the fences on, because when you look at this Bulls roster right now and you look at this core, you have to ask yourself, where are we going? How can we elevate the ceiling of this team?
Right.
And I think bringing a star in like Zion Williamson, who is a terrific athlete, who can run up the floor and be a terrific transition threat beside Josh Giddey, Modest Buzelis, he could potentially elevate the floor of this team and take them from a playing squad to a top 5 squad if he's able to stay healthy. And like I said, the final 3 years are non-guaranteed. We know that the Bulls are a team that does not like spending a ton of money. And if you're going to take a gamble, why not take a gamble on an all-star player who's younger than Giannis and see what it warrants you, especially when you have nothing to lose and you have a fan base that's yearning to see a star player. And why not bring Zion to this market, the 3rd largest media market in the country, where you know not only will he be held accountable, but he'll have a lot of respect and reverence coming here, knowing the history of the league and the talent that's come through this city of Chicago.
You're not the first person I've heard mention Zion to the Bulls. You're not the first person. I guess I just looked at it as he's always hurt. He busted out of his
understand.
shoes. I know that was college. I'm just being funny. But
Right.
then his weight's an issue, although he has looked like he's the one thing that I wouldn't be concerned about the weight, because everybody who comes here, they find a weight room.
Exactly.
They find the weight room.
Exactly.
They put their ass in the weight room. They eat. They have some iron for lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which I think would do a great service to him. But you're not the first person, and I got to think about that more, because he is a little nasty. All right, he will get down there and get dirty, down and dirty, and bang with the big boys. He does play defense.
Commands a lot of gravity too. Commands a lot of gravity. Like he commands so much attention when he's getting downhill, and it's not anybody that can stop him. And he put together some impressive performances against some of the top teams in the league before the Pelicans shut him down. And with Joe Dumars taking over is the lead man in the front office in New Orleans, it's no telling what direction he might want to go in. And I don't think the value of Zion is as high as Giannis's value. And if I'm looking at it from Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley's perspective, let's take a gamble. And let's take a gamble on a younger talent who's soon to be 25 this coming July.
Damn, he's only 25?
Yeah. And for a guy that hasn't played a ton of basketball games, when he has played, the Pelicans have had an above 500 record, and he's a two-time All-Star. And I think that's something that gets lost in translation when it comes to Zion Williamson. He's far from a bust. He's just a guy that hasn't had the best of luck health-wise, but you get him right. And I believe, like one of your viewers said, that he needs a change of scenery. He's a guy that not only the Bulls should be after, but several other teams throughout the Eastern Conference should be seeking to pursue, especially in the wake of what just happened at the top part of this week in the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Yeah. My only concern is we got too many damn restaurants here.
I think Zion will be all right. I think he'll appreciate this market, and I think the fan base deserves to have a star like a Zion Williamson in the arena. I think it's worth the risk, because what do you got to lose? He's on the last 3 years of his deal. If he gets injured and you don't like what you see, you can cut bait with him and wash your losses, move on to the next. And they don't have a ton of money on the books. That's the one beautiful thing about the Bulls right now. So they could kind of play around a little bit over these next couple of years, see where they want to go with this current core before the summer of 2027 comes about, when you have stars like SGA and some of the even older stars start to hit the market.
Okay. I'm gonna have to think about that. That does make sense. And Joe Dumars, if he's, it's easy to cut bait with a top talent and get a lot of get a decent amount of picks and rebrand the team in your likeness as the new GM. And so it makes a lot of sense. All right. I mean, let me think about that. Zion to the Bulls might not be a bad thing after all.
We know that the Duke alumni base is very strong in the city of Chicago. We know that. Mike Krzyzewski, John Shire, both Chicagoland natives. He was coached by Coach K, and John Shire was the lead assistant at the time in his long season at Duke. So the Bulls have had plenty of Duke Blue Devils of recent past. Elton Brand, Luol Deng. Why not add Zion Williamson into that mix and get you a star in the United Center for 41 times a year? Make it worth these fans' while. This is one of the most supportive fan bases in the league.
Yeah.
And they've stuck with this team through thick and thin for I don't know how long, but why not make it worth a while?
That makes a lot of sense, Gabe. That really does. Okay. Let's talk a little NBA playoffs, man. You alluded to it earlier about Jason Tatum. Give me your thoughts. I mean, I think we're both in sync that Boston's out. I mean, they're down 3-1. They lose Jason Tatum. And not just physically are they done. I think mentally they're done. When you see your star player go down like that and your man is out, I think psychologically it really did a number on them. And they could come up big. They're going back to Boston for Game 5, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. But you got to come back to, you know what I mean? It's the Knicks are doing it, man. Give me your thoughts on that series.
Well, you got to give kudos to a team like the New York Knicks. Anytime you able to overcome multiple double-digit deficits, it's a testament to the camaraderie that their starting five has. It's a testament to the greatness of Tom Thibodeau, keeping that never say die spirit and mentality alive in his players. And Mitchell Robinson has been a force to be reckoned with on the boards. They get so many second chance points courtesy of that man. It's not even funny. And Joe Mazzulla's tried to do any and everything to get him off the floor, from hacking him left and right, sending him to the free throw line. And even in spite of his free throw struggles, he still finds a way to make a positive difference in the game and on the stat sheet, and even on some of the aspects of the game that won't show on the stat sheet. So kudos to them. But the Celtics, it's a tough blow. We're talking about a guy in Jason Tatum who has been arguably one of the most reliable superstars in the league. You never catch this man playing under 70 games a year. He's always playing between 72 to 76 games a season. And he's doing it at a high level. He's always averaging 25 plus, 8 plus rebounds, 8 plus assists. And he's one of the more efficient players in the league when he has it going. And he's one of the top rebounding forwards in the league. And shout out to my co-host, Torrance Stagg, who pointed that out on our most recent episode of the New 24 that just dropped this morning. And that's what they're losing. They're losing their primary playmaker. As Tatum has served as a de facto point guard for this Boston Celtics squad over the last few seasons, en route to making 2 NBA finals over the last 3 seasons. However, I don't want to count the Celtics out yet, because this is a golden opportunity for a player who, in a lot of aspects, wants to be considered as the Don Dada, wants to be the face of the league, and that's Jaylen Brown. He has the richest contract in NBA history, for those who may not know, and he's a guy that believes that he has what it takes to be a number one option. Well, now he's about to get his ultimate test. And this Boston team is really going to need that, especially trying to overcome the emotional roller coaster that they just managed to deal with over the last 48 hours. And if Jaylen Brown can be that same Jaylen Brown that we saw in game 2 against the Orlando Magic when Jason Tatum was out of that game due to a hand injury, they'll be fine. Boston this season has been 9-2 in games that Tatum has missed. So they're capable of playing without him. But it all starts with number 7, who won't have his Batman beside him in number 0, but is going to have to play that role in order for this Celtics team to make some history.
Yeah, but there's a different thing, though. You know, when you're not playing with him in the regular season, you know he's coming back. He ain't coming back.
Right. I understand.
So that whole mental thing is where I think they lose it. Is that it's like, man, he's not coming back to save us. And the way Jaylen Brown's been playing, man, he's been playing like crap. So it's like it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like they're ready to make they're ready to make a run. Like they might. It's like a chicken. Have you ever seen a chicken with his head cut off? When they chop off his head, they run around just on adrenaline real quick. They run around real crazy, and before they bloop. I think that could be Boston. They could maybe pull one out in Boston. All right, maybe. Because they've already lost in Boston twice. So that's a maybe. But I think once they go back to New York, it's over. And talk to me about Chicagoland zone, Jalen Brunson. Is that dude a dog or what?
It's a reason why he just took home Clutch Player of the Year honors for his contributions to the Knicks this season. And you're seeing it live on hand in these NBA playoffs. You talk about some of these big-time shots that he's hit left and right. And when you got a guy like that as your closer, I think it brings so much confidence to the role players. Like, and that's why they're able to overcome some deficits in a lot of ways, because when you're able to cut deficits from 20 to 15 to 10 to 5, and you got that guy on your side that's able to create the amount of separation that he is off of the dribble.
And he looks short as hell too.
Anything
can happen.
Like
6'2"? Maybe 6'3"?
I think he under 6'2". Just watching him in high school all those years at Stevenson High School, I think he's at least 6'1" on a good day. And I was around him when he was a McDonald All-American in 2015. And it's been remarkable to see his career and his evolution. And he was a guy that when he went over to New York, a lot of people were like, why would you pay him all that money? And I understand He had the blessing of his godfather and Leon Rose, who handed him the keys, but he saw, he's conquered, and he's cementing himself as one of the top Knicks players in over the last 25 years, which is saying something because he's on the verge of taking this New York Knicks squad to their first Eastern Conference final since the turn of the millennium in 2000. And that's quite remarkable.
Yeah. And he's building the old saying, if you make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And he's doing it, man. He is doing it. And that New York Knicks fan base, as rough and critical as they are of their players, God, when you win over there, they love it. They love you. You're revered, just like here, where we're tough on our people. But God forbid you win one. Don't even mention two or more. You know what I mean? Just win one, and you got the whole the command, the respect of the city. So I love it. I really like him because he's you can see that Chicago grit that he plays with. You can see it. You go to any local game here, and the grit that those kids play with, you see it. That's the exact same grit that he plays with, only at the highest level, and that's beautiful to see. Knowing he's one of our very own, coming out of the north suburbs up in Stevenson, if I'm not mistaken, the largest high school in the state, like freaking 5,000 kids or something.
Yeah, it's a big high school. And he was the king of Lake County. I believe he's the all-time leading scorer in Lake County. And he put together a decorated career. And the one thing I always respected about Jalen, even though he came from the North Shore and North Suburban area, those Stevenson teams always scheduled city squads. And they held their own against them, win or lose, mainly because of number 15 at the time, and Jalen Brunson, who's had a hell of a career. And he's won at every level. Won a state championship his senior year of high school, captured 2 national championships at Villanova beside his current teammate Mikal Bridges and so forth, and Josh Hart as well. So I really have been impressed with what this guy has been able to do, especially at his size, because
what if he gets the title for that city, bro? What if he gets an NBA title for First of all, my New York friends will be insufferable. I ain't gonna block every single New York freaking every 718-212 number coming out. No way. I don't want to hear anything because I gave them all types of shit when I was in college. I graduated in 93. So I gave all my New York people shit in 91, 92. I couldn't give them shit in 93 because we graduated and the Bulls were down 0-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Knicks, and we came back and won 4. But I was insufferable. They hate me for the way I was talking all that mad shit in 91 and 92. So I know my phone's going to be blowing up like the World Trade if they win.
Oh, man, that would be something. I can't even fathom what a Knicks championship would look like. It's been 52 years since they've last won. And if Jalen Brunson was to lead the Knicks to an NBA championship, we talking about a guy that is going to cement himself as probably on a level akin to what Walt Frazier was in the 70s for kids in New York City. He's really up there. I would say outside of Aaron Judge, ain't no more popular athlete that you're going to find right now in the city beside him.
Maybe Soto, but I don't think so. I think you might be right. You might be right. You might be the judge. And then
what he's doing right now?
Because you know what? Because as much as they love the Yankees, man, and they, how New York likes to think that they're the point guard heaven, and now he's a point guard. And they had, and no disrespect, they turned out some really good point guards. Don't get me wrong. There's a list of them point guards. They had the thing that was on Netflix. And for a point guard from Chicago to lead the Knicks, man, they would eat that up all day, twice on Sunday, man. Let's talk about one more series, and that's the Golden State series. I want to talk about that because I want to ask you, Steph, are the Golden State Warriors done with Steph and that hamstring?
I think so. I think they ran into a buzzsaw in the Minnesota Timberwolves that are hungry. And Golden State is one of those teams, like my man Torrance Stagger was talking about when we recorded the new 24 podcast yesterday that just dropped this morning. Like I said earlier, he was talking about how Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, they really think that they could just walk around punking any and everybody. This Minnesota team is not falling for it. I believe Jimmy Butler is shooting well below 30% in situations when he's been guarded by Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, and Julius Randle. And it's getting to the point now where he's not even looking for his shot when he has the ball in his hand. He's looking to facilitate. And it's been situations where Draymond Green has been more aggressive. And you're seeing the gravity that Steph created go by the wayside in his absence. Now, kudos to Jonathan Kuminga, who's put together some impressive outings off the bench for this Warrior squad, putting up 23 points or more over his last couple of games and doing a great job of attacking the basket, getting to the free throw line. But offensively right now, this team is shot. They're not even able to get to or they're not even able to get efficient level production, from Brandon Podziemski. And if you're not able to get that from him or Buddy Hield, who helped you in Game 7 when Steph had his cold spell, hey, they're in a lot of trouble. Like one of your viewers said, Draymond, he does do a lot of crazy things to hamper the team, right? And it seems like he oftentimes does not enjoy playing basketball when Steph Curry is not beside him. But kudos to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards, he's a guy that even if he don't want to be the face of the league, with the way in which he's performing and the guys that he's taken down in the playoffs left and right over the last 2 years, he's going to demand that he is the face of the league by his game. And he's done a great job of empowering the role players on that team to play at a high level. And kudos to Julius Randle, a guy that had a lot of narratives.
Yeah, he had a lot of
narratives to overcome. And his time in New York didn't end well, but you're seeing him elevate his game.
Where the hell did he get that handle? Where the hell did he get that handle?
He always had it. He always had it. But now what you're starting to see is his playmaking ability start to shine beside Anthony Edwards, and the energy and the motor is being displayed on the defensive end. Like you see him stonewalling Draymond Green. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You see him stonewall Draymond Green on the drive inside the lane,
moving his feet,
moving his feet,
in front of people,
getting key stops late in games. Getting key stops late in games. Yeah,
big like he ain't a 6'10" skinny mug. You know what I mean? He ain't Midas Buzella's 6'10". That dude, that's a grown ass Mickey Ficky man right there, moving his feet like that. That's a moving wall. 100%. That's a moving wall. I've been unbelievably impressed with his play ever since he left New York. Because in New York, there was something about him. I just didn't like him in New York. There's something I didn't like about his game. And now he's having fun like a Mother Hubbard, boy. Him and Ant-Man.
Yes, sir.
That's Batman and Robin right there, boy. That 6'10" dude facilitating quick. Ant-Man is something else too, boy. He is something
28-6 over their last 34 games since Randle returned from a groin injury in March. And they don't look like they're going to slow down. And it's quite remarkable that the Timberwolves have a chance to get the back-to-back conference finals for the first time in franchise history, something that they weren't even able to do during the Kevin Garnett era. I really like their chances, no matter who comes out of that OKC Denver series, to represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals this coming June.
One bad thing is that NBC is going to say, like, no, small market Minnesota and OKC.
Hey, it's a different NBA.
It is. But the numbers don't. They need more people than OKC. That's all. They want them big markets. But hey, Gavriel, great stuff, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor though. Let everybody know where they can find you and your work online. Don't forget, give them that info on your podcast you dropped this morning.
Absolutely. You can follow the new 24 on Instagram as well as X, Twitter, as you might know it as at TNTF_. We just dropped episode 27 talking about what's led to the success of the Indiana Pacers through the first 2 rounds of the NBA playoffs, talking about the winners and the losers from the 2025 NBA draft lottery, in addition to some of these series that you just heard me talk about with Shawn right here on this show. Definitely appreciate you guys having me on Sports Zone Chicago, man. It's always a pleasure to talk NBA basketball.
Man, we'll have to keep in touch, man. I appreciate the time and great stuff, man. I got really, really insightful stuff, man. So
anytime for a reader, brother, man.
Keep up the great work, man. Keep up the great work. Yep. And speaking of that, how about our Pope? Our Pope was that reader for a while too, substitute teacher. He had to be there when I was there. He was like in the 80s. I'm like, what? I don't know. I heard about that. I ever had him. That's crazy, man. That's nuts. Yeah. Hopefully he can do something for our wife. He can talk to the big guy about our White Sox and our Bears.
Absolutely.
Hey, Gabe, thanks a lot, man. We'll talk soon.
Anytime. Appreciate you.
Thanks. Guys, that's Gavriel Wilkins from the New 24 podcast, and talking Bulls basketball and NBA basketball with your boy here. And, man, there's Julius Randle is, I'm telling you, I didn't like him in New York. He looked angry. He's first of all, he ain't a good looking brother. And he's dark, and he always just looked angry. I was like, man, dude, what the hell? In Minnesota, he looks like he's having fun, boy. He looks like he's having fun. And I like it. I like it a lot. But let's switch gears. Let's switch gears a little bit. Man, we got a whole bunch of chat conversations going on in the chat. And I'm fired up because today is the day that the schedule released. The NFL, they know how to do it, man. Everything is a production. Everything. Everything is an event. And the schedule release, which is today, is going to let us know where, well, we know where, but when we're going to play all of our opponents. Some were leaked. All right, Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. So we're not playing Thanksgiving. Who's the Black Friday game? Is it the Commanders? No. And then December 20th, we got the December 20th. We got the Packers at home. It's a Saturday night game. So there's going to be a lot of interesting. Well, the NFL, every fan base is fired up about today. Eagles Black Friday. Thank you, Junior. Thank you. Eagles in Philly. I got some people in Philly. Maybe I'll make the trip out there. Who knows? But definitely want to head to San Francisco. They're playing in Levi Stadium again. Beautiful stadium. Oh, my goodness. I love that. Then they're playing at Vegas. Vegas, baby. Vegas. Allegiant Field. Can't wait to go there. That'll be dope. I've already done some recon. So you know how the algorithm, you just got to get on the algorithm or Big Brother hears you talking, and next thing you know, you keep getting all kinds of shit from whatever you're talking about. If you're talking about exercise bikes, then you're gonna have a whole bunch of shit of it on exercise bikes. Well, I started doing some research and stuff on Vegas, so I'm getting a shitload of stuff from Vegas. All these spots to eat at Vegas. I'm only going to be there a weekend. And they're all local spots. So you don't got to eat on the strip and spend $1 trillion. All right, you eat at local spots. They got a couple of steakhouses in there that are pretty reasonably priced. I looked at the menu and I was like, wow, $45 for a steak? Okay. A lot of Mexican restaurants, some Italian restaurants, great stuff, some taquerias. Great stuff. So I'm ready. I'm excited about going to Vegas. I know there's going to be a huge Chicago contingency heading over to Vegas. There'll be a huge uptick in airline tickets from Chicago to Vegas the weekend the Bears play. Whenever it is, we'll find out. And that'll be dope. That'll be dope because if it's a regular Sunday game or a Sunday night game, I'm heading out there Thursday afternoon probably. Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the game. Maybe come back Monday. Yeah. I'm excited. It's going to be good. And you guys, and I was going to do this on Friday once the schedule is released. It's kind of go through the schedule like you guys, like you are, Shorty, like a lot of people are. They're going to go and say and kind of see what you expect the record to be. You know, the most important thing is when. When do they play certain teams? If you get some of the tougher teams early, you have a shot. But all those teams are looking at us the same way. Like, hey, if you get the Bears early, you have a shot. Because there's gonna come a point in time where we will see it. I think there'll be a distinct difference from 1 week to the next. It could be from week 3 to 4. It could be between week 6 and 7. It could be between 9 and 10. It could be between week 12 and week 13. But we'll see when that offense clicks. When it clicks, and like, oh shit, they're on it now. They're on it now. Junior, you're a damn fool. If I went to Vegas, all you can eat restaurants would be like, you go now, you'll be here 4 hours. Why they got to be Chinese? Why can't they be Italian or anyone else? Oh, you like the Fat Boys and what movie was that? I was gonna say Cruising. Breakin'? Was it Breakin', the Fat Boys? No, it wasn't. It was a different one. But they got kicked out of the all-you-can-eat place. But it's getting me excited. I'm getting me excited because, you know, I love football. You know, it's my favorite sport of all. I played all sports, but it was my favorite and the one that took me to football's given me the most. All right, and I love it with a passion. I mean, hell, it got me to college. All right, got me to one of the best colleges in the country. Went to Ireland, played professionally in Italy because of football. Got a great education, met some phenomenal friends. There's one of them here, Junior Armando Lara Jr. on here. He and I played together. I was Crush Groove, King Booker World. Thank you. Thank you. $2.99 for all you can eat. I'm going to stuff my face to a funky beat. Oh, man. But, you know, pardon me, we got a guy with I don't know. We got the landscapers. I got the window open. I don't know if you could hear that, but it's annoying the hell out of me. But anyway, it's going to be an exciting season. Okay. And the one thing, it's interesting, you know, watching and listening. This is why I get frustrated with people. You know, people have talked about Kyle Monungai, the kid from Rutgers. And everyone's like, well, he's only a 7th round pick. I'm not hanging my hopes on a 7th round pick. I'm not expecting big things from him. I'm like, first of all, shut the hell up. Like, it's a deep draft at running back. And if you watch this kid play, this kid he's a poor man. They're not even a poor man's version of Ashton Jeanty. He doesn't have Ashton Jeanty speed by any stretch. He only runs a 4.6. But so did Emmitt Smith. So did Jerry Rice. It's game speed that I need. How fast are you in games? So he can't take it 80? Oh, wow. Not a lot of running backs, not a lot of people can take it 80 to the house. Over 3,000 carries. I'm sorry, 3,000. 300 carries. 3,000 carries. In college, never fumbled. First and foremost. Secondly, actually, that's second. His blitz pickup, his pass pro, insane. We've all seen it. We've seen the highlights on X, on Twitter. He meets you in the hole. So 1, he great pass pro. 2, he doesn't fumble. 3, he bounces off tacklers. You have to really wrap him up and bring him down because he will bounce off tacklers. He was the leading rusher in the Big Ten, not 24 and 23. And I believe he finished second in rushing in the Big Ten in 24. Like, you're not getting a pump. You're not getting one of those throwaway draft picks. This guy has a legitimate chance of starting. I think by the end of the season, DeAndre Swift's going to start. His contract's too much. He's going to get the first crack at it. But I'll tell you what, he's going to be in that rotation. He's going to be in that rotation, and we might get another veteran in there, and that's fine. But I'll tell you what, Kyle Monangai is a guy that I really want to see take off. He's a guy that I really want to see take his opportunity and max and just run away with it, literally and figuratively. All right. My only issue with him is that he's 5'8", 5'9". You got a 5'8", 5'9" guy in DeAndre Swift. Different types of running backs. But give me a bigger guy. I would have liked the bigger guy. We'll see. He could be the deal. He could be the answer. He really could be. And I'm not giving him his proper due. That could be it. Because he's 5'9". But I'll tell you what. Kyle Monangai is going to be a much bigger factor than many people think. Than many of these people who don't know shit about football but want to run their mouth. He's going to have something to say for them by his play. And that's what I want to see. I want to see a good running back. I want to see a good running game. I want to see on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, you're not worried about running the ball. There's so many different things. All right. The offense is going to be a pleasure to watch grow, but so is his defense. All right. Can we stop the run? Can we get to the back? Can we get to the quarterback? Can we get home? Can we fluster him? Can we get him off the spot? King Booker World says Kyle Monangai will be the lead back by the end of the season. Hot take. I don't know if he'll be the lead back. He might be. He might be. I would not be surprised if that happens, King Booker World. I would not be surprised at all. The way this dude bounces in and out off of people. But again, let's not forget, DeAndre Swift's no joke. DeAndre Swift is not afraid to run between the tackles, contrary to popular belief. Contrary to my angst about signing him initially, like, he don't run between the tackles. Then his first touchdown against the Rams in the middle of the tackle, in between the tackles, jumps over a guy to the house. But he also understands who Ben Johnson is, having played for him. He also understands what Ben Johnson's MO is. Ben Johnson's MO is, we're going to punch you in the mouth. We're going to straight up, no frills, still off you right in your Mickey Ficky mouth. And that's the attitude I want to have. That's the culture I want to have. And one of the reasons I believe that he doesn't have a depth chart is that you're going to fight. You're going to compete. You're going to be, we're training you to be some dogs. You got to fight for your job. You got to fight for your position. You got to fight for a contract. Everything's up for grabs. And you're going to see the most competition from all the positions. Ozzie Trapillo, I was a little confused with the pick from some of the people that I respect. Said he was legit. And I get it. They're in helmets only. No shoulder pads in rookie minicamp, and they're going up against rookies. But his athleticism and the footwork looked smooth. The athleticism and the footwork looked smooth. And that is important to me. He's been playing right tackle. He's played left tackle before. But him looking smooth. Here's another thing. A guy that I respect. See, people had an issue with with Ozzy Trapillo being so tall. Because a lot of guys that tall, when they get down, they're waist benders. They bend at the waist, which means they get out over their skis. Their center of gravity is off. It's easy to maneuver people who are out over their skis leaning forward. He's a knee bender. So he squats down, so he keeps his center of gravity, he keeps his balance, and he keeps his power. A guy who's 6'8", who can get down low, and keep his balance and center of gravity and strength at 6'8", man. So he's got a legitimate shot. He's got a legitimate opportunity, a shot to win that left tackle position. And good. I like the fact that they put him there. I like the fact that they said, you're going to be left tackle. You're going to fight for that job. End of story. You ain't going anywhere else. You're a left tackle. So get used to it. Change all your shit. Get your muscle memory. Work on this shit at practice. Work on it before practice. Work on it after practice. Work on it at home. Work on it in the hotel room where you're staying. It doesn't matter. Do everything. Kick step with the left. Left foot back. Left foot back. Shorty says, I admit I was one of them. When I saw 6'8" with a 6'1" quarterback, I was like, what the fuck? I hear you. But those are the guys you wanted. But and he looks like that guy. He looks like a guy who's like too nice. But also, when I say that, he could also fall. He could fall in that, and it's going to sound bad, but I think you. Let me explain it. He looks like a serial killer. I know you're like, how's that going to sound nice? He looks like a serial killer. Like just there's a switch that goes on. There's a switch that is flipped when he plays football. He looks like a great young man. All right, he had a tough time. His dad died when he was young, really young. And he looks like a little mama's boy. But God bless it. God bless it. When he gets on that field, that switch is flipped. Yeah, Keith Van Horn was really tall. He was a good 6'5", 6'7" as well. Let's see. How tall was Keith Van Horn? He was 6'6". 6'6" out of SC. I remember that. Yeah, he was tall. So I like that. And the remember we talked about we need dogs on the offensive line. Remember that? We need dogs on the defensive line. Well, guess what? You went and signed Grady Jarrett. There's your dog. There's a dude. That's that dude who doesn't stop. That's that dude who has a motor that just doesn't quit. And he's going to impose that. He's going to mentor young guys. Gervon Dexter, Austin Booker, Montez Sweat. Hopefully Zach Pickens and everybody else to have that type of mentality. We're going to have some dogs on that offensive line. Shamar Turner, yes, Mr. Shorty. He is a dog. He is that dude who plays with the edge. And sometimes he goes over the edge. Like I said, I don't care if you go over the edge. Give me a guy like that because I can always reel him back. Sorry. I can always reel him back. I don't want to have to try and get you to play with an edge. I'd rather pull you back onto the edge because I know what I'm getting. I'm getting a dog. And they're talking about keeping him inside. Okay, cool. He's got a motor as well. And then you go to the offensive line, and Darnell Wright is a dog. Darnell Wright is one of the nicest guys. I've interviewed him a couple times. One of the nicest guys ever. Soft-spoken. Very polite every time I interviewed him and talk with him. Watch the film. That's a dog. That's a dog. And then you're going to go get Ozzie Trapillo. You can tell Ozzie Trapillo has some anger issues. And that's a good thing when playing football. It stopped me from getting arrested because I can hurt people and run over people. Since apparently punching stupid people is frowned upon in society. So I had to take out my anger and my frustration on the football field. But he looks like he has that. I tell you, he has that switch. Ozzie has that switch. Man. When you got a guy like that, you got your two tackles, you got those guys. Now we'll see what the middle three do. JonahJackson, former Pro Bowler. All right, Mike Tooney, Super Bowl champion. Now we're cooking with grease. Now we're cooking with grease, baby. And then the young center, who's 26. Yeah, things are starting to look up. King Booker Wilson, I'll never frown upon stealing off dumbasses. Oh, my goodness. Patty Lara checking in. Good morning, Ma. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Oh, my goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. If Patty's watching, it means Jeremiah's watching. Good morning, Jeremiah. But I'm thinking, and I don't want to get out over my skis. I really don't. But I picked 10 wins, double-digit wins last year, and we should have had it. We should have had it. Washington game, that led to a couple of losses. I mean, what was the losing streak we had last year? 10, 11? We lost. We finally won the last game at Green Bay, FGB. But that Washington game started the spiral, the downward spiral. So we got Washington again in the nation's capital. Again. So I think it's a revenge game. I know the staff wasn't here, but guess what? Caleb Williams was here. DJ Moore was here. Roma Dunze was here. Cole Kmet was here. TJ Edwards was here. Andrew Billings was here. Gervon Dexter was here. Montez Sweat was here. So you better have a sense of revenge in your heart. And that comes out only at the end of plays and when you're winning. because you can't let emotions take over. You have to be very tactical, very methodical, very robotic. And go about your business in a methodical way and don't stop. And that's what I want this Bears team to get to. We saw it so often with the Patriots. We see it so often with the Chiefs. We're seeing it now. We're seeing it with the Eagles. They go about their business. They're going to put up 28, 35 points, call it a day. They're going to shove it down your throat, right down your mouth. Call it a day. We'll see you next Sunday to whoever's next in line. I told you, with the Thunder, my first year, we won our first national championship. Me and my fullback set out, I think, 2.5 games. We only played 10 games, 10-game regular season. But we were taken out so early that we literally missed an equivalent of 2.5 games, 10 quarters. There are times we get one series in the third quarter, and that was it. We came to work, put up 35 in the first half, 28, 35, score another 1 or 2 in the beginning of the second half, and we're done. That's where I want this Bears team to get to. And that's where the revenge comes in, because you go about your business. And at that point, when you, instead of coming out, that's where you put it on, and you stay methodical. You stay methodical. And this Bears team, I think, the 2026 season is going to be sick. The Bears will be at the forefront of a lot of conversations. But I want to be where my feet are at. We're in the 25 season right now. When everybody learns Ben Johnson's offense, everyone's comfortable in Ben Johnson's offense. Everybody knows that the ins and the outs of Ben Johnson's offense. Colston Loveland has a year under his belt. Kyle Monangai has a year on his belt, and the whole offensive line has a year together of playing together. But it's going to be fun watching those guys get that chemistry. Oh, snap. From the East Coast. Checking in, my man, Jay Grizz. Says, happy hump day, Superback and my Sports Zones fam in the chat. Jay Grizz is in the house, baby. Bears are heading to Philly. We're going to find out the day today. I don't know if I'm going to go to the Philly game, but I'm already looking at. All right, see, now you got to start with this nonsense, bro. What's all that? Stop it, Jay Grizz. Stop it. My White Sox with a big win yesterday, too. I know you guys came back and walked it off. So yesterday was Mexican Heritage Night at Wrigley Field. I'm going to Mexican Heritage Night on the south side. It's in June 5th, June 6th, something like that. It's going to be dope. But good win for the Scrubs yesterday. Good comeback win. You missed it, Jay Grizz. I was telling people. So me, Armando, and his son, Mondo, in a thread, a text thread. And Mondo was telling me, I hate Justin Turner. He sucks. They should DFA him. Blah, 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 blah. This was before the game. And then yesterday, I love Justin Turner. That was hilarious. Mondo was so happy. He said, I'm going to party in Boys Town after the game. I digress. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, and I'm anxious to see when they start again. I'm anxious to watch. I want to see Ozzie Trapillo. And you, yeah, Jay Gris too. I was talking all weeks to Coach to release Turner. That's what you get with a vet. That's what you get with a vet. I had to eat crow yesterday. But that's what you get with a vet. A guy who's not intimidated by any situation. World Series champion. He's been there. He's done that. Okay, so going up to pinch hit, it's not a big deal. You're not, your sphincter isn't tightening. You're not overwhelmed. Come on, man. And he delivered. And the crowd at Wrigley was insane. I was telling people earlier, Jay Grizz, I had about 8 to 10 different friends who were at the game yesterday because they're getting those jerseys, the Mexican Heritage jerseys. People left the bars early to go get in line for they wanted a jersey, boy. They wanted that shit for real. And they're all singing their song after the game and everything. But what I was saying is, it is. I'll tell you what, Jay Grizz, it is a good time. I'm not going to BS. I mean, the stadium is historic. It's small. You know, for some reason, Cub fans love to piss in the corner. I don't know. They piss in the corner, or they want to cross streams in the trough, like and check out your meat. What's wrong with you guys? But I digress. It's actually a good time. Wrigleyville's a good time. Jay Grizz, get him some tickets. There we go. You go to my guy Eddie's at Output Wrigleyville, right kitty corner from the back, right at 3720 North Clark. You can go there. There was a party there yesterday before the game. Then there's going to be a big party Friday for the Crosstown. Yeah. It's a shorty. I hate those troughs. Jay Grizz, that's dope. We're back. Go Latinos y todos los Mexicanos. Those jerseys were pretty dope. They're pretty dope. If it didn't have the Cubs logo on it, I'd want to get one. But we're gonna get our own on the south side in June. But it was rocking yesterday. I'll tell you what, it's rocking up there. Tons of beer. The beer's flowing. The drinks are flowing. The music is, man, the 2 DJs they had there yesterday were on point. Because I know who the DJs were. I wasn't there, but I know who the DJs were. Yeah. Jay Grizz, it's a good, King Booker World is a good time. Oh, you've been playing plenty. Oh, okay. King Booker World says, Grizz, I've been there plenty, fam. I'm a Sox fan and a family of Cub fans. Hey, that's exactly how I am. All my mom's brothers, all my uncles were Cubs fans. Uncle Johnny, rest your soul. Uncle Dario, God rest your soul. Uncle Paulie, God rest your soul. Uncle Frankie, God rest your soul. My Uncle Victor, he just wanted to go to Boys Town. That's all. Yeah. So you know what's up. You know Wrigleyville's a good time. It's a good time. But want to switch gears. Rick, my 2 sisters are Packer fans. Pendejas. Dude, that is dope. Hey, I want to switch gears a little bit. Because man. Jay Grizz, all my peoples, the GOAT is back.
Michael, get it pulled with a fresh shot clock. MJ. Oh, he did it! Michael shakes the finger. Jordan. Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan.
They'll calm you down. They'll work their plays. Steal. He kept it in bounds. Here it is again. Oh! Yes! Whose game is it? It's Michael Jordan's game.
Consistently game in and game out, but against the Bulls he does. Here's Jordan. He blows by Pearson, jammed it down. He blew by
Jordan out front, pressured by Dennis Johnson. Michael on the drive, in from the right. Hesitation move, through the hoop for the right. Scoop shot, good on the reverse.
Michael!
12-6 Boston.
MJ is back, baby. Michael Jordan is back. I love it. Michael Jordan, the GOAT, is back. I said it earlier. Michael Jordan will join NBC's NBA coverage this fall as a special contributor. How fired up are you? How fired up are you? Junior says, I have to watch The Last Dance again. Do it, man. Woo-hoo. That got me fired up. Unfortunately, you got to erase on my DVR. It only stays there for a year. I was like, damn. King Booker said, just watched it. Junior watched it again last month. I'm excited to see Michael as a contributor. I want to see him talk. I want to see what he's got to say. I want to see him critique some of these players. And here's the problem. When you critique the younger players, they're oh, it's on Netflix. I can just watch it on Netflix. All right, thanks, King Booker World. They act like you call them pedophiles. Like they're critiquing your game. The same things you got to work on. Stop work on your left hand. Stop taking all the threes. Get to the hole. Do the little things. Set picks. Stop taking 5-10 games off a year for load management. That's bullshit. Jay Gris says, MJ gonna pimp slap a head coach like he did Kerr back in the day. No, he didn't pimp slap. He punched him. He punched him. Oh, man. But I want him to be real. I want him to say, hey, they're doing this. They're not doing this. They're not giving enough effort. They're doing great work here. I like this. I like that. And keep it a buck. But, people are going to come at him because no one likes to be criticized. But if you want to be great, you're okay with criticism. You're okay with people pointing out your flaws because now you know exactly what to work on. You want to make sure that those flaws that people are talking about don't stop your greatness. And that's the cool part about it. Yeah, he punched Will Perdue too. Yes. Yes. Yep. And MJ competitive in everything he does. Yeah, he does. King Booker World. Hot take. This is the beginning of MJ's journey to become NBA commissioner. I don't know if he wants to be commissioner, bro. I don't know. Rick says MJ gave 0 Fs. I don't know if he wants to be commissioner. Dude, he is loving life right now. How would you? Now you got to come back in the grind every day. You got to deal with all the owners. You got to deal with the players and their bullshit. But you can go have a beautiful wife, Yvette Prieto, 2 beautiful little girls from her, a golf course, over $100 million yacht, cigars. Come on, man. And you're going to give that up? Let's go deal with a lot of these knuckleheads in the NBA, the Draymond Greens. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't know. But it's good to see him back. He needs to be in the NBA. He needs to be around the NBA. It's good. He's been away for long enough. He's got his race team. He's opened up, 3 or 4 hospitals in Charlotte. All right, for people who don't have insurance. All right, for low-income people. He probably just misses the game now. Misses being around it. And I get it. I miss being around football. I miss coaching. I miss coaching the young men, pouring my knowledge into them and watching them soak it up like a sponge. And Mike has a chance to, be a contributor, talk to some of these guys. Be around the game. Man, MJ and the NBA are like a hand in the glove. Like OJ's hand in the glove. I just think it makes too much God-blessed sense that Mike be involved with the NBA. Makes too much sense. What about this? What do you guys think about this? We talked about it earlier on the top of the morning. We can talk about it a little more. They're back, baby. Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, the other 7 men from the Chicago Black Sox 1919 World Series are removed from the banned list. They can now be voted on the Hall of Fame, and they are eligible for the Hall of Fame in 2028. Your thoughts on this, peoples? All right, I understand the integrity of the game, but Pete Rose never bet on the game when he was playing. He was a manager at the time, and I get it. But at some point, you've done your time. I'm really upset that they waited till he was dead. Shoeless Joe Jackson really didn't have a chance. He had to wait. There's no way he was getting in anytime soon after the Black Sox scandal. But what are your thoughts, people? About goddamn time. If it don't sit, Bulls in 6. If it don't fit, Bulls in 6. As long as Ty Cobb's in the Hall of Fame, anybody should be eligible. Yes. Most people don't know about Ty Cobb was a son of a gun, boy. Man. Rick Gonzalez, 8 Men Out, my favorite baseball movie. Okay, nice. Junior says, I'm all for it. So am I. I really am. It's about time. Again, time served. You paid your debt to society or to baseball. Now it's time. Get him into the Hall of Fame. I know David Hall brought up a pretty good idea. He said the Baseball Hall of Fame should open up a wing or a section for the steroid era. Because there was some, and I thought that was a good deal. Because there's a lot of people who were part of that era, but that era was endorsed covertly by Major League Baseball itself. All right, they weren't out stopping people. They knew what they were doing. They knew that the steroid era, coming off the work stoppage, and people launching balls out of the God-blessed baseball parks into the parking lot, into the ocean, into the river, into whatever outside the actual structure, would put asses in the seats. They knew this. And you know this, man. And that's why they didn't say shit about it. Now, it's the baseball writers who are the gatekeepers who think they're holier than thou who have to vote them in. But David Hall brought up a good point. Said if they have a wing for it to say, hey, just title it the steroid era and put the people that were suggested, if they're Hall of Fame worthy, put them in there and say, hey, you know what? He was he was accused of this. I'm okay with it. Because what Sammy did, what Mark McGwire did, what Roger Clemens did, what Alex Rodriguez did, those are historic. And people talk, and the thing about it is you have to understand, using steroids doesn't help you hit a baseball. You can be as strong as you want. You got to hit a ball that's moving at 100 miles an hour that has movement. You ask any athlete who's played baseball or multiple sports, and they'll tell you the hardest thing to do in sports is hit a home run. The hardest thing to do is hit a home run. There's so many factors. I mean, you miss it by half an inch, it's popped up to the outfield. How many times do we watch the ball? We watch somebody and he pop it up. He's like, he got underneath it. Just got underneath it. Sounds good, like pop. You hear that pop. And it would have the distance if you hit it out, but just the angle, it hit it up. He was a half an inch too low on that ball. Shawn, now it's happened to let the bad guys in the Baseball Hall of Fame. So you're against these guys, huh, Shawn? And I get it. I understand your point of view. I understand it completely. But baseball reaped the benefits of it. Baseball knew what was going on, and they turned a blind eye because it meant asses in seats. What you remember the commercial with Greg Maddux and was it Glavin? Chicks dig the long ball. They knew it would put asses in seats, and they knew after coming off that stoppage, they knew that people were done with baseball. People were done with baseball after that stoppage. Until the home run race, Sammy and Mark McGwire. They saved baseball. Call them what you want. Call them steroid heads. Call them muscle, whatever you want. They saved baseball, and baseball knows it. Man, baseball, they were cutting into news, to TV shows, to news feeds, whatever it was. Here in Chicago, ESPN was cutting into anything, any other broadcast they have. Mark McGwire's up to bat. Sammy Sosa's up to bat. They created the buzz. When you start cutting into regularly scheduled programming because of something else, that's a big deal. And baseball loved it. Dude, yeah, he did. He was about 6'4". McGwire was, he might have been 6'4", 6'5". He was a big dude. He was a big dude. Shawn says, I don't want the steroid guys in the Baseball Hall of Fame either. Okay. I respect that. I think there should be a wing. I agree with David Hall. There should be a wing in the Baseball Hall of Fame because what they did was historic. Because it didn't help you hit the ball. Now, you might have gone 450 feet instead of 385. That it could have done. But I get it. The cardinal rule number 1, like Fight Club, you do not bet on baseball. It compromises the integrity of the game. It compromises your decision-making. But again, it wasn't him playing, so I can't. It's him as a manager. But again, people would say it compromises your decision-making for the game. And there's no saying that he bet against his team. But it still makes decisions. It affects your decisions going for your team, even if you bet for them. Rick, you're a damn fool. He's like, look at Bonds with the Pirates. Then with the Giants, his head grew 4 sizes. He did become a bobblehead, dude. He did. Junior said, my baseball coach in high school said you have a choice. baseball or football because my coach for football was having meetings during baseball games. I chose football and turned in my gear, your baseball gear, I presume. Yeah. That's crazy. So MJ back with the NBA. Say it so. If you saw the thumbnail for the show today, say it so. The reason I put that, because I think the newspaper, the headlines, when they found out, it was "Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so, Joe." That's why. Great job by Steve-O getting that thumbnail together. Good stuff. All right, NBA playoffs tonight. Let's see who's playing tonight. See, Sun Times got it. Say it so. The Hustle Tussle. Charlie Hustle. See what's on TV tonight. On TV tonight. The draft combine, that's at 1. It's on ESPN 2. Then the Knicks and Celtics game 5 on TNT, 8:30. That's at 6. And 8:30, the Warriors at Timberwolves game 5. That's tonight. And it's 7 o'clock tonight, the NFL schedule release. You can catch that on ESPN 2. Okay. Man, 2 hours is coming and gone. I want to thank my guest, Gavriel Wilkins. Gavriel, should say, host of the New 24 podcast. Came on talking Bulls basketball with me. I want to thank you guys. The chat was lit again. Man, some of the people, just like the prodigal son, got returned. Yes, Jay Grizz, we did. Y'all discuss how the Bulls got robbed of the first pick in the coin flip? Yeah. It's all a scam. Plank. Thank you, Shawn. Sports Zone, it's good to be back. Have a great day. Bear down. Hey, I hear you, Papa. If you're going through some stuff, I hear you. Hey, you know what? There's one rule. One thing I was just say, keep going. Life gets crazy, bro. I get it. We all have situations where life just seems like life is just kicking our ass. It's always coming with something. All right? Stay strong. You said working life have been super busy. I haven't had a chance to watch for quite a while. Hey, I appreciate you coming back. And because we all have, again, we all have those times in our life where it just kicks our ass. It just does. But I appreciate your loyalty and you coming back when you get a chance, Papa. All right? So listen, let's get excited. Get your plane tickets ready. Guys, have a phenomenal day. It's beautiful. It's 69 degrees out here right now. It's going to get warmer. Hope you guys have a great day. Listen, do yourself a favor. Let your loved ones know you love them because tomorrow is promised to no one. Make sure you reach out to people. I got people reach out to me. I just got a phone call during the show. Probably have meet up for brunch on Saturday. I got to meet up a friend for brunch on Sunday. All right. Make some plans. Call. Reach out. Drinks, dinner, breakfast, brunch, lunch, happy hour. Doesn't matter. All right. Reach out to your peoples. Let them know you love them. All right. This will replay at 6. So for everyone here, Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. I want to say thank you. I appreciate it. I love you guys. Thank you for all the support and love you've given me. Your boy, the SuperBack. I am out.